Alors, belles amies, qui j'en oye m'suit bien, mwen relais J, and I am here for your 2026 Empress House of Healing forecast. Today, I will be teaching you one French word of the day, and that is bonjour or allô. So, bonjour, hello, allô, hello. So, today we'll be getting started and we will end with advice. So, here for the month of January, my beautiful people, I see guilt. So, I see you being guilty of giving people the time of the day when you weren't really feeling like it. Okay, so you got an inkling about someone that you didn't get a good feeling about. And I see here is they kind of got you out of your peace. You were in a peaceful environment for a while until you allowed someone that you had a bad feeling about or an indifferent feeling about around you. And I see you regretting and feeling guilty about giving people or energies the time of day that did not deserve it. I see here in the month of February, peace. So I see you feeling more peaceful with you deciding to love yourself and put that same effort that you gave to others back into yourself this coming February. Okay. I also see here in the month of March, I see my beautiful collective courage. I see you gaining the courage to move on when you feel that the time is right. I see you no longer sticking behind in something that makes you uncomfortable for more than you should. And I see you not feeling bad about it. You know that there's more people out there that appreciate you in the time that you show to them. I also see here in the month of May that my beautiful collective, the month of April, you are digging more into humor. You're used to being respectful. You're used to holding yourself together. You're used to running the show, being the boss of your own story, being the writer of your own story. But I see here you are determined to enjoy yourself as much as possible. You will post that funny post. You will go to a comedy show. You will go to a club one night and enjoy yourself, or an outing that you normally would not. And you still will enjoy it without feeling bad about yourself and feeling as though that you are worth less than who you really are. In the month of May, I do see you feeling love, okay? You're feeling love even when you felt as though that you weren't appreciated with the Five of Pentacles, all right? You felt as though that the love that you gave to others, it wasn't equally reciprocated. So you're making up the lost time that you didn't put the love into yourself, and you're putting it into yourself without having any remorse or feeling bad about it. I also see that you are doing the things that you enjoy doing that you may feel as though that you missed out on, especially in your childhood, is what I'm seeing here. I'm looking at the children in the Ten of Cups, and this is one of the most highly favorable cards in the tarot when it comes to emotional fulfillment. All right, so again, making up for Five of Pentacles, lost time. Pentacles represents practicality and things that you may need to feel secure. And so I feel here that you had felt a lack thereof. And so you are making up that time in the month of May with a lot of self-love and doing the things that you enjoy. For the month of June, I do see empathy, okay? So you're no longer feeling remorse about making decisions to move on and choosing yourself first, is what I'm seeing here. That Ace of Wands is everything that you've wanted to do, that you felt like doing, that you feel as though that you wanted to bring others along, but you couldn't do so. And it makes you feel bad that you couldn't tag them along with your journey, but you just know that time goes on, and sometimes you just have to love from a distance and do your own thing. Okay, in the month of July, I see imagination. Okay, so all the things that you kind of put in a closet that you swept under the rug, I see you kind of, doing research. I see you doing research, more research in order to invest in those things that you swept under the rug. And that is so that you can bring them into fruition and that you can introduce your passions and visions to others. I see you also sharing knowledge and going back to school in the month of July and continuing your education in something that you feel that you need brushing up on. In the month of August, I do see envy. Now, you do know that the month of August is Leo season, and Leos are all about taking control and, taking the room and taking all of the attention from everyone and just basically knowing that they have that it factor. I see people being jealous of that, being jealous of your kindness and knowing that your kindness is more recognized, more so than their negativity ever would be with the devil card. You don't need to be afraid of the devil card. The devil card can represent shadow selves. It can represent lust. It can represent passion. It can represent obsession, infatuation. And so I see you being, infatuated with yourself. And I see people seeing the confidence within you and getting jealous of that. I see that with them, they bring attention to themselves by being negative. But with you, people are drawn to your kindness and the service that you provide when it comes to making people feel whole and making people feel like they are themselves after not feeling like themselves from long periods of time by being surrounded by negativity for a long period of time. And I see you helping people get out of that and other people seeing you help people get out of their darkness and getting jealous and envious of you about that. All right. In the month of September, I do see surrender. Okay. So I see you surrendering to the need of the release to control. I see you sitting back and letting things unfold naturally, even if it may feel indifferent or you may feel unsure of the way the outcome may, end. I do see you also regretting trying so hard for people that didn't push as hard for you. And now you're surrendering to that. You're allowing people to show themselves who they are to you willfully without you forcing the issue. In the month of October, I see judgment. You understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. And I see that even though it may seem as though that it may go against you, you realize that some people, have their own reasons for doing things, but that's not for you to figure out. Okay? That's not for you to figure out with the Seven of Swords, the Tower, and the High Priestess. I see here also that that, there's things going on beneath the surface that people try to paint as being perfect, but there's some things that they may not be revealing to you that with their actions, they reveal it to you intuitively, where it is the person doesn't have to tell you how they are. They show it through their actions and you're able to pick that up. Okay. And so you don't judge them because you say to yourself, some people are just a product of their environment, but that doesn't mean that I have to be. And then that's when you silently move on. All right. So in October, I see you silently moving on to what no longer serves you when it comes to trying to figure people out and, surrounding yourself with people that you're unfamiliar with, unfamiliar spirits. I see you getting away from that. All right. Also, I see here in the month of November, indecision. Okay, so you are no longer confused about choosing yourself, right? Making your own rules with the Hierophant card. You could be a Taurus, all right, Taurus. And also I see you choosing, your way before you choose another. Now, I do see you taking into consideration people's thoughts and ideas, but at the end of the day, you're the head honcho. You're the one who makes the final decision with the Hierophant card in the month of November. And I see you deciding to choose your own way, your own rules, and go by the book is what I'm seeing here, your book. In the month of December, I see forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. So I see you, forgiving yourself for being too hard on yourself and appreciating how far that you've come in the month of December of 2026. I see you enjoying the fruits of your labor, and I see you sitting down and relaxing and being able to reflect and reminisce of the things that you've accomplished thus far. What I see here also is for your advice is the Death card. All right. So I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. So you have learned that you do not have to accept the bare minimum. You're going where you're celebrated and not tolerated is what I'm seeing here. You're going for people that may have the same aspirations as you, the same dreams, ideas, thoughts, conversations as you, like-minded people, not people that are in page energy, but people that are open to be around you, to encourage you to do more and to exceed, and without feeling as though that you're doing more than them and trying to keep you down. Thank you so much. Au revoir. See you next time. Bye-bye.